Welcome back to the deep dive. You know, if there's one simple request, maybe just one short phrase, that instantly sends a shiver down the spine of language learners, and frankly veterans too, it is definitely, tell me about yourself.
Yeah.
It's just the ultimate open-ended trap, isn't it?
It really is, yeah. It sounds so simple on the surface, like just list some facts, but what you're really being asked to do is deliver the concise, compelling headline of your life story. And our sources, this big stack of language learning transcripts and communication guides, they really show us that this question, it's a test of structure, fundamentally, not just vocabulary.
That's exactly what we're diving into today. Our mission here is to cut through all that noise and give you, our listener, a few reliable, structured ways to master this introduction, whether you're meeting a new friend or maybe aiming for that big career move.
Okay, let's unpack this right away. When the stakes are high, say a job interview or maybe a formal networking event, what is the strongest, the most professional foundation the sources point to? Right. For that kind of professional clarity, you almost certainly want to use the now then why method. It's really effective because it gives your listener a logical flow, a narrative. It helps avoid that awkward, rambling start we all dread. You're essentially giving them your present status, your relevant past experience, and then your future ambition or motivation.
The now, then, why structure. Okay, I like that. It's brilliant because it covers, well, all three time elements. Let's start with the now. What does that actually look like?
So the now is your anchor. It's what you do right now, your name, your current job title, or maybe your main area of study. The sources really emphasize being direct here. For instance, hi, my name is Paul, and I'm currently focused on curriculum development as an English teacher, something like that. You state your primary role, your identity, clearly and right up front.
Okay, clear. Then we move to the past or background. Now, I think this is where people often get a bit lost, right? They provide maybe too many details, things that aren't really relevant. How much then do we actually need?
That's a great point. It really must be brief and crucially highly relevant. You're trying to establish the foundation for your current role, for the now. So if you're an English teacher now, your then might be something like, before this role, I spent about 5 years working as a tour guide, which really helped hone my communication skills. See, the then should feel like a logical step that supports your now.
Right, a stepping stone. It validates where you are. But I think the why is the part people often forget. Or maybe they're just a bit too shy to share their ambition. How does adding that future bit, the why, really change how the listener sees you?
Oh, the why is absolutely the differentiator. People hire motivation, They don't just hire a list of skills. If you leave out the why, you risk sounding a bit, well, stagnant. But if you conclude with your motivation saying something like, moving forward, I'm really focused on integrating AI tools into learning materials because I want to help more people learn English faster and, make it more fun, you're showing that forward momentum, that passion. It signals you're invested in growth.
Ah, okay. So the now then why isn't just a list of facts. It's more like a quick, maybe 60-second summary of your professional journey and, importantly, where you plan to take it. It puts you firmly in control of the narrative.
Exactly. It helps people understand who you are, where you've come from, and crucially, why they should invest in you or your ideas.
That structure sounds fantastic for professional settings, for clarity. But here's where it gets really interesting for me. How does this all change when you're just meeting new friends? Or you're in a purely casual, low-stakes situation? The goal shifts completely, right? From professional validation to, I guess, genuine connection.
Absolutely. In those social settings, a party, a casual meetup, even just chatting with someone at a coffee shop, if you launch into a formal now then why speech, well, you'll sound like you're pitching something. It'll feel off. Introductions there need to be light, they need to be open, and maybe most importantly, immediately reciprocal. You have to invite conversation, not just dump data on them.
And the easiest way to invite that conversation is probably through passions, hobbies, interests. The sources definitely stress using engaging language for hobbies. Can you give us an idea what that looks like in practice?
Yeah, you need to use language that paints a picture, that implies some real passion. So instead of the very safe, maybe slightly generic, I like painting, our sources gave much more vivid examples. Try something like, I'm really into oil painting, specifically landscapes. I just find it incredibly therapeutic, especially after a long week. Or maybe use fun labels to describe yourself. Oh, I'm a total bookworm, always hunting for the next obscure sci-fi novel. Or I guess I'm a bit of a foodie. My main weekend mission is usually experimenting with some new recipe.
I love those labels. They're like instant social shorthand. And Okay, to make yourself truly memorable, the sources were pretty insistent on adding a single fun fact. Why is that so important?
That little interesting nugget, it's crucial. Maybe it's, I can juggle 3 apples, though not always successfully. Or perhaps, I once actually met a famous singer while waiting for a train. The fun fact isn't just trivia, it's like a psychological tool.
It signals emotional safety, doesn't it? Like, by sharing a slightly silly or unique detail, you're basically telling the other person, hey, I don't take myself too seriously, and I'm open to just having a friendly chat.
Precisely. Yeah, it breaks the ice almost instantly and gives the other person a really clear, easy thing to ask about, a conversation starter.
Now, let's think about the beginner learner for a second. Someone who might be feeling really shy, maybe completely overwhelmed speaking a new language. What's the absolute simplest, safest version for them?
Right. For anyone feeling overwhelmed, the learning guides strongly recommend the short and sweet introduction. The goal here is comfort and just getting words out, not complexity. Keep it super simple. Name, where you're from, and maybe one simple thing you like. My name is Paul. I am from London. I like to read books. Simple. But the most vital tip attached to this, and it's nonverbal, is smile. Seriously, it's universal body language. It shows you're friendly, even if your words aren't quite perfect yet.
That's really excellent advice. Smile. Okay, let's pivot now. We've gone from casual to, let's say, the most demanding end of the spectrum, acing the academic and professional environment. Here, precision really matters most. In a job interview, how do we make sure our tell me about yourself is like a compelling mini advertisement, but without sounding, fake or overly rehearsed?
Yeah, that's a critical balance to strike. The absolute key is focusing on transferable skills, and this is important. Providing evidence, not just making claims out of thin air. You should basically treat the job description like your cheat sheet. If they say they need a highly organized team player, don't just parrot back, oh, I am a team player. Instead, think of an example, a brief one that proves it.
Okay, so rather than saying, I am very good with computers, which is pretty vague,
Yeah.
we should aim for something like, my skill set in data analysis actually allowed me to streamline our team's reporting process by about 15% in my last role. Specifics.
Exactly. You're tailoring your background to what the company actually needs, to their potential pain points. And this is where that strong vocabulary becomes really necessary. We shouldn't just list skills. We need powerful words backed by concrete examples.
Right. Give us the upgrade then. If I want to sound highly professional, what are some of those strong verbs and adjectives the sources suggest swapping in for the more generic terms?
Well, we definitely want to move beyond basics like hardworking or motivated. They're okay, but a bit bland. Instead, aim for words like diligent, collaborative, analytical, resourceful, meticulous, inquisitive, or maybe tenacious. These words carry more specific weight, more professional punch.
Okay, let's try putting this into a concrete, maybe minute-long example for a formal setting.
Mhm.
Imagine you're introducing yourself at a major job interview, or perhaps a high-level academic seminar.
Yeah.
How would that now, then, why structure sound using some of that advanced vocabulary?
Okay, let's try it. We'll use the now then why framework, but inject some of those stronger words. So maybe something like, good morning. I'm currently an operational analyst, and I specialize in supply chain efficiency, mainly for large e-commerce firms. That's the now. Who? Prior to this, I completed my master's, which focused on logistics systems, and that's really where I developed strong analytical and, I'd say, resourceful problem-solving techniques. That academic background definitely instilled in me a meticulous approach to data management. That's the then with those skill words. And moving forward, here's the why. I am deeply inquisitive about finding sustainable solutions for global scaling challenges, and I'm really keen to collaborate with a forward-thinking team like yours, potentially, to tackle those complex issues head-on.
Wow. Okay, hearing that applied really demonstrates how powerful and concise it can be. It sounds polished,
Yeah.
definitely purpose-driven, and you wove in, what, 3 strong adjectives seamlessly?
Yeah.
That really shows capability.
That's exactly the goal. The language itself needs to demonstrate capability and confidence, not just hint at potential.
Okay, now let's flip to the other side. Let's look at the common traps, the things that can undermine even the most perfectly structured introduction. Our analysis flagged, I think, 5 major mistakes. What are the big ones we absolutely must avoid?
Right. Mistake number 1, the monologue. Or, just talking way too much. We've all met that person, maybe at a party, the one who answers, tell me about yourself, by, describing their entire PhD dissertation down to the bibliography details. You have to be concise. Seriously, if your answer drones on for much more than 60 seconds, maybe 90 max, you've probably lost your audience.
And the fix for the monologue trap.
Always pivot back. Ask them a question. Make it like a tennis rally, right? If you hit the ball over the net, you have to give them a chance to hit it back. Something simple like, what about you? What brings you here today? Or how about yourself?
Okay, makes sense. Keep it interactive. What's trap number 2?
Yeah. Not thinking about the situation. This is what we could call the relevance trap. Your casual introduction about being a foodie who loves experimenting with recipes, that's probably wildly inappropriate for a serious job interview. You always have to tailor your answer. Think, who is asking? Friend, potential boss, networking contact. Adjust accordingly.
Trap number 3, the mood killer.
Being too negative. Yeah, definitely don't complain about past jobs or criticize old bosses or colleagues or even be overly self-deprecating in a way that sounds insecure. Keep the content positive and focused on the future, pretty much regardless of the setting.
And number 4, this is the one I think really undermines confidence immediately, especially for language learners.
Yes, the apology. Never ever start your answer by undermining yourself with phrases like, oh, well, my English isn't very good, or I'm probably not very good at this, but here goes. No, speak with the confidence you do have. As the sources really affirm, confidence often counts for more and is certainly more memorable than perfect grammar. You are enough, just speak.
Great reminder. And finally, number 5.
Giving way too much personal information or TMI, especially when you're just meeting people, keep things generally appropriate for the context. You really don't need to share your entire family history or detailed financial worries or deep personal struggles right off the bat. That tends to make people uncomfortable. Save that for much later, if ever.
Okay, so what does this all boil down to? We've got the structure, the now then why. We know the variations for casual versus formal. We know the traps to avoid. But that final, maybe biggest barrier is often still just, well, the fear of speaking up. How do we actually leap over that shyness hurdle?
Yeah, it's the big one. And the universal, though maybe not very glamorous solution is simply practice. Practice, practice, practice. You have to start small. Write out your scripts, definitely. That helps organize thoughts. But then, crucially, record yourself speaking them out loud. Practice in front of a mirror, even. Don't aim for perfection right away. Just aim for progress, for fluency. And remember, most people are actually pretty patient and they genuinely do want to hear your story.
That's the takeaway right there, isn't it?
Yeah.
So to recap our core mission today, to really master the introduction, you need to be clear. Say what you mean. Stick to a structure. Be concise. Don't ramble. Keep it under that minute or so mark. And be curious. Always ask a question back to keep the conversation alive. Your introduction, really, it's just an invitation to start sharing a little bit about your journey.
Exactly. And we really encourage you, the listener, to take this abstract advice and make it concrete. Maybe take 5 minutes right after this, grab a piece of paper or open a doc, and actually write out 2 distinct short scripts. Maybe a 30-second casual intro focusing on connection and that fun fact, and then a 60-second professional one using that now-then-why model with some strong vocabulary.
Okay, and here's a final provocative thought for you to maybe chew on. This whole deep dive really shows that the question, tell me about yourself, is rarely just about the facts. It's actually about demonstrating one of 2 key things, either relevance, especially in a formal setting, or reciprocity, definitely in a casual one.
So think about which context, that formal need for relevance or the casual need for reciprocity, which one do you personally find most challenging? And maybe next time you introduce yourself, consciously choose one strong, evocative adjective from that list we mentioned, perhaps grounded or inquisitive or even empathetic, and try using it deliberately to describe a facet of your unique personality. Go out there and tell your story. Tell it with conviction. You've definitely got this.